Off now. Is this Max Gilman on the pole? Max Gilman on the pole position for the Intermax 950 final. Jensen Seal, fourth in the championship, behind Max Gilman in the championship, alongside second row of the grid is JJ Plowman and Nathan Edwards. And then on row 3, Drew Davidson and Fraser Anderson. Harvey Bacon and Thomas Jackson on row 4. Row 5 is Oscar Roach and George Ralston. And then on row 6, and rounding off the 11 kart Intermax field, is Sandro Kemp. So that's the grid. They're already formed up in the collecting area, as you can see just to the right of the screen. Just to mention that the 5-round championship for the kart championship rounds off in July at Throwback. However, that's not the season over, as we've got a 3-round winter series that kicks off in in September. That kicks off at the end of September, the 20th, 29th weekend off, at Wilton Mill. We then go to the northeast of England and Warden for the 16th and 17th of November, and then the 3-round winter series for the kart championship finishes at a venue to be confirmed, so still working on a calendar for that one. That's on the weekend of the 7th and 8th of December, and that'll be the 3rd and final round of the Kart Championship Winter Series. So action-packed year ahead for our Kart Championship competitors. It's all about the Summer Championship, though, heading towards July. Our next karting live broadcast will be round 1 of the NKC, which will be coming from Clay Pigeon. Clay Pigeon will see round 1 of the NKC, which you can find live, coming next month, middle of April. And then we head to, I think, 2 weeks after the first round of the NKC, we head back to Warden Law for round 3 of this championship, the Kart Championship. So we're just gathering up the errant karts from the circuit that have been recovered back to the paddock. We have had pretty good weather, considering. I think we've been very lucky. There was a little bit of rain forecast that hasn't come. There's still a chance yet. It is getting chilly. So chilly that Henry's putting his jacket back on, but he has just been out for a pit stop.
Yes.
Yeah, so
fuel and tyres.
So how fuel and tyres. I just splash and dash is what I thought you were going to go. How cold is it?
It's a brisk. It's certainly the wind is there, but the air has cooled, and that's significant in terms of jetting and tyre pressures. So there's not the breeze is. You can see the flags sort of gently fluttering in the breeze, but the air has cooled considerably from what it was this morning.
Yeah, it did yesterday, didn't it, if
yes.
I remember rightly?
Oh, we're being handed a piece of paper in the commentary box.
What is that then?
It's the grid for race number 42, Micromax.
Oh, splendid.
Now, have you already got the
We've
grid?
already got that.
So that means...
Shuffling of paper, soundbite. No, we have not.
No, we haven't. So
that's our final. That's our last final.
race. So we've got three races to go.
I've already read the grid down.
Excellent.
So we're aware of that. The grid forming up nicely, just coming through the compression.
Watch for Harvey Bacon on the inside of row 4. As we come to the line, lights are out. We're off and racing down towards... no, we're not off and racing. That's a late call with the false start.
Absolutely, false start
They
there.
looked a tad quick.
That's what it'll be.
Yes.
They were tidy, but they were too quick.
Yes, too quick.
And one of Dan Ashton's pet hits, he was our clerk of the course at Warden Law last week, and I was working literally side by side.
Yes.
So inside the workings of the mind of Dan Ashton was a
dangerous place to be.
It felt really dirty, to be honest.
And cramped, because it's quite small, mind. No,
but I've now formed a massive insight. He doesn't like people slowing it right down
and then
booting it before the final turn. You've got to be slow out of the final turn and give it a boot as you get to the line.
Yes,
and that's exactly what we didn't see
Yeah.
on this one. See, that one there.
Yep.
You might not like this one either.
We'll have a little look, and we'll wait for the marshal. No, he didn't like it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
See that? See the insight I got last
you're
week?
inside Dan Ashton's head.
I'm inside Dan Ashton's head, mate. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I mean, he gave a class 2 chances at this yesterday, and then he stopped them and thought, right, no, not having this. But I mean, the drivers know, because he's so consistent with his calls.
Do not accelerate until you come out of the final turn.
Yes, I don't want to see.
And as you go towards the line, then he likes you to accelerate.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to see the throttle going in before you turn into the apex of the final turn.
Because that is what then gives the front runners such an advantage over the
right.
middle. And also, it means the speeds are generally much quicker going into turn number 1.
That's the main thing he's looking at.
Yeah, and you don't want them to be flat chat going into turn 1 straight off the start, because that's where, accidents can happen anywhere.
Max Gilman is going to be given another chance. This is a little bit better. This is a bit better.
Yes.
I think he's going to let them go here.
Yeah, because he waited till those 2 orange cones. And look at that, it still worked for him. He still got a big lead after, on his final warning before he goes to the naughty step.
Yes, indeed. And look at the gap he's got. He really did well there. Thule Motorsports, Max Gilman leads down the hill towards the carousel for the first time. I really do love this left-hander. It's a 180-degree sweeping left-hand turn. It's probably got about 2 apexes that you have to clip there, one going in, one coming out. And Max Gilman showing everybody the way around. Jensen Seal, it is, on the number 140. He's in second as the intermax. We tend to be stringing out here. We're still all nose to tail, but not bumper to bumper.
No, and but again, we saw this in the first half of the Superheat 2, where they were all sort of like, and then they all sort of caught up with each other towards the end. And we've still got that driver. Who was that? Let's have a little look. 2, 4 with the gilet on. Is that Harvey
chilly.
Bacon?
You said
it
it's
is chilly.
chilly.
And fair play, obviously
he's not worried about weight.
Mum and Dad are thinking about we can't. Oh, it's Easter holidays now, isn't it? A lot of the people are in the Easter holidays, so
some schools are.
School on the Monday morning. But it is Gilman from Sale, Plowman, Anderson, Jackson, Edwards, Bacon, Ralston, Davidson, Roach and Kemp.
So if anything's going to happen here, I think it's the cart of JJ Plowman there with the bright orange overalls and the gilet. Is that the cart that's wearing the gilet?
No, that's just
that's
just
a rib protector.
Yes.
Right, that's Fraser Anderson.
Yes.
Who is just quite happy to sit there on the bumper of JJ Plowman for now. Mm-hmm. He's just looked over his shoulder. There's nobody there. He doesn't have to hurry. So he's just going to sit there. And this is what we find. And it's a little bit sort of processional at the moment. But I feel, Henry, that everybody's just sort of, gauging it. High-speed game of chess is what I call it. We're just biding our time. 10 minutes and 1 lap, remember. So there's extra time on this heat. So there's plenty of time to start pushing and challenging and making mistakes if needs be.
Yeah, we'll have to pull away from this camera shot very shortly so Paul can mark off his Joe Bradley karting bingo card.
Yes, of course.
We've had high-speed game of chess.
Twice.
Oh, so he's already filled it out.
We've had a few momentums.
And of course...
we've had a picture tent.
A picture tent, and we've now got to wait.
We've had one tin opener.
And we'll wait to see if any driver is hugging down behind the NASA panel to create maximum aerodynamic efficiency, which is another one as Jensen Sale doesn't need maximum aerodynamic efficiency. He has got enough waft in the motor of that Ambition Motorsport kart to close right back in on Gilman as they come through Pitts Bend to start another lap. This will be the beginning of lap number 5.
You need the kart well set up there to be able to go through that first turn flat out.
Yes.
Clubhouse Corner is a very fast sweeping right-hander, and if your kart has got not enough grip to get you through flat out pretty safely and without any fluster, then you are going to lose time up the straight. And we saw that there with Jensen Seal being able to keep his foot hard in, as did Max Gilman, and he was able to stay with Max Gilman all the way up the hill now. Into turn 7, into Devil's Elbow here. This is the more technical part of Glannygores.
Yep.
Now into the compression. Easy to lose time there with the kart sliding away from you. And they're here completing 5 laps now. So 5 laps in the bag. Still first and second, only 2 tenths in it, but we really don't need the timing screen to tell us that. JJ Plowman's fell back about a second, and then, 7 tenths, and then another 9 tenths as Fraser Anderson, who I thought was going to challenge, but that just hasn't come off, hasn't manifested in any way.
No, because, well, of course, with the way that Gilman and Sale are racing, pushing each other along, then they're not giving the others an opportunity to even put themselves in a position to challenge, because they're just working together. Last time around, Gilman did a personal best lap of 44.869. That was quicker than everybody else, everyone else in the top 5 at least.
Using much more road there, isn't he?
Yeah.
Just Jensen Sale, he just uses all of that extra curve, whereas Gilman doesn't have to.
No, that's the sign at the moment.
Is that a different line through that first turn, maybe a later apex for Gilman?
And it could be just a slight sign of how the rear end of the kart is set up, the pressures, or, the spacing on the rear axle, just to sort of, let it float a little bit more.
Yes, yeah, I think
for Sale, whereas Gilman has got the drive to, he doesn't have the back end's not quite as free, but the kart's not bogging down either.
Yeah, he's able to just hold that tighter line. Here they come. We'll get another look at them through turn 1. We'll see where he turns in. Turned in exactly the same spot. Yeah. And Sale being caught, I think, by Plowman. Plowman beginning to make ground.
Yeah,
6/10 fractionally, yes.
Well, but 6/10 can become 3/10 very quickly.
Very, very quickly.
And then 3/10 can become nothing once you're in the slipstream. So the 171 kart of JJ Plowman is working very hard and is keeping himself in contention.
And I think the slipstream is the key word there, Henry. I think he's about to start picking that up.
Yeah, if
he's going to be starting to be dragged along, and that big hole that those two karts are making in the air.
Yep.
Plowman is about to start taking advantage of that.
He'll get sucked into the vacuum.
I mean, these are not racing cars with big wings and aerodynamics, but they have got aero on them.
Yes.
And they do punch a hole in the air. And this is where Plowman will pick it up on the straight here.
Yep, and I wouldn't be surprised, even from that far back, we'll have a little look.
It's gone back out to 8/10, however.
It has gone back out to 8/10, but you look at the designs and you get the NASA panel on the front of Max Gilman's kart. We've unkindly called it the drain pipe design, but there is a channel that feeds air up over the top of the steering wheel, over the top of the driver's helmet, to create that aerodynamic, to create the aerodynamics, and to obviously push the air so that there's more of a hole behind the driver that you can use the slipstream on. So
So is that channel at the front of that panel?
It's a deliberate design to create airflow.
Is that going to benefit the kart behind, though, by putting the air over the kart behind?
If the driver behind can hunker down behind the NASA panel and get lower in the seat than the leader can, the air just goes over the top of him.
Yes, yeah. Because that's a different panel.
It is a different side of NASA
Sales,
panel.
Yeah.
That's the flatter NASA
smoother,
panel, which deflects air sideways. So, you need sharp elbows, but you need your shoulders to be in.
Yes, yeah, I see that. They have come together for the lead. And I think Jensen Sale has been kind of playing that waiting game, because now coming up to that key 2-minute mark, and remember, these drivers underneath that markable where it says GYG, be on the other side, that's a digital information board.
Yep.
And that's telling the drivers exactly how much time they have left. So they're fully aware of where they are in this 10-minute race.
And absolutely. Now, sadly, we've lost Oscar Roach from the race in the number 196 kart. He is out of the race. We've got 10 drivers left. Gilman, Sale, Plowman, the top 3. Anderson, Edwards, Jackson, Bacon, Ralston, Davidson and Kemp, the rest of the running order. And even though there's we're watching lots of overtaking, it's a critical cat and mouse game of ready, get your dabbers out, high speed game of chess. Ding ding.
You can have that one. I want to hear that next week.
Oh, okay, thank you very much. Courtesy of Joe Bradley.
Yeah, here we go though. It's getting down to 90 seconds, Henry. This is what it's all been about all weekend. Since we got here on Friday, we've been practicing. We went qualifying. We had 2 heats yesterday. We had 2 super heats this morning. And it's all come down to this last 90 seconds for Max Gilman, Jensen Sale and JJ Plowman. JJ Plowman's going to get ST Racing a bit of a podium after the disappointment in the junior field of Addison Smith, who ended up from pole position going to the back of the field. That is a small consolation for John Stewart's team, but it'll be something that they'll take. And a great drive from JJ Plowman, who's broke away from the rest of the field behind him. Here they come then. 1 minute on the board, so probably 3 minutes of racing, I would say.
Yeah,
sorry, 3 minutes.
Three laps of racing to go. And, as far as JJ Plowman is concerned, hey, he's there. If things go wrong between Gilman and Sale, then he's there to pick up the pieces, and he's got enough time to react to anything that happens in front of him. But Gilman with the overflow pipe on the radiator,
the radiator overflow pipes come detached a little bit
at one end, and that's not going to cause. That's not a technical issue. That's just a distraction.
Yes.
More than anything else.
That just clips on, doesn't it?
Yeah, there's a little bracket that has obviously worked its way loose. But, and of course, it is just a tiny little distraction for the driver, but Max Gilman is not letting it distract him, and chooses a very good moment to put in a very good lap, a 44.98 compared to a 45.06 for Sale. And suddenly the gap opens up again. He's not out of danger by any stretch, but, instead of letting the pressure get to him, he's now putting the pressure on the driver chasing him.
Well, like I said, Henry, they're fully aware of how much time is left, and Gilman knew he had to, if he's got anything in his toolkit, he needs to get it out now and use it.
Yep.
However, he's using all he can. However, Jensen Sale still on his bumper. He's got one more lap as they come through the compression. They've got one more corner to go, and then they will embark on the final lap of the weekend. Here they go then. It's the Intermax final here. And it's Max Gilman leading up the Dragon Straight. He looks over his shoulder. He sees Jensen Sale. What has Jensen Sale got? As a little bit of a defensive line into the Spoon corner. Gilman is very fast through there.
Yep.
Very fast indeed.
Now, at this time a lap ago, Gilman ran wide coming out of the carousel and almost put a wheel on the grass at the outside. Does he do the same thing there? No, he doesn't.
No, not
so
quite.
He corrects.
He was a little bit more contained.
Yes.
Opportunities are running low for Jensen Sale to have a go at Max Gilman for the win. Here they come then, the last few sequences of corners. They've got one more corner to go. Gilman's got this in the bag as he comes through on the exit curb. Tooley Motorsports, Max Gilman takes the win for Intermax. Jensen Sale, a fine second, I've got to say.
Yeah.
Great drive.
And here's one thing that we haven't said all weekend. That was a lights to flag victory.
Yes, it was,
for
absolutely.
Max Gilman.
Yeah, Max Gilman.
Incredibly well controlled, but there's always going to be one race, and that may have been it. Yeah, but so Josh Cormack, who led the championship at the end of the Wilton Mill round, he's obviously not here, so he's not here. Not a factor.
Adam Turacek isn't here.
So
Gilman and Sale, who are second and fourth in the championship, JB Plowman, who is fifth, they're going to go ahead of them, of course, with a massive difference in points there. So let's have a look at the order. Max Gilman took the win, Jensen Sale second, JJ Plowman with a consolation for the team, ST Racing taking a podium there with JJ Plowman in fine style. Fraser Anderson was fourth, Harvey Bacon fifth, Thomas Jackson sixth, Nathan Edwards seventh, George Ralston was eighth, ninth was Drew Davidson, Sandro Kemp was 10th, and then we lost Oscar Roach very early there, less than half distance ago. Oscar Roach went out on lap 6.